Does this rechargeable handheld vacuum cleaner do a good job? Are there some issues you should think of? Are there problems using this device in practice? Is this handheld maybe not strong enough? Let's find out, so stay with us and enjoy our video. Welcome to Poolpanda. This is your channel regarding pools and pool equipment. So generally, if you want to enjoy your pool time, an important precondition is your pool to be clean. Once the pool and the water are clean, you can enjoy and have a good time. If you want your water to be crystal clear, you need a pump, pool chemicals, and if possible a surface skimmer. But all these things will not have any effect on particles that sunk to the ground. Because either the pump nor the surface skimmer can reach those particles. And that is, when the Intex handheld comes in. In general there are automatic vacuum cleaners. There are manual cleaners that are driven by the pump, and there are manual rechargeable cleaners like this one. So there are many types of devices, and today we particularly take a look at this Intex model. If you want to see the results of other cleaners, feel free to watch our videos and postings at www.poolpanda.com. So, how does this cleaner work? At the front, there are two different attachments you can mount on. Either you can mount a wider and bigger attachment with brushes, or you can mount the thinner and smaller attachment. For this one, you can remove the brushes. If there are algae in the pool, use the brush. If sand, dust, or other small particles are at the ground of your pool, you probably do not need the brush. So, the thin attachment will do the job. Let's continue to see how this handheld works. Next to the attachment, there is a transparent connector that connects the attachment with the main body of the handheld. Inside the main body, there is an electric motor and a battery pack built in. The motor will cause suction, so water and particles get sucked in. Inside the main body, there are nets you can exchange. There is a quite coarse mesh net, and there is a microfilter net. The microfilter net will especially hold back very small particles, so that these particles will stay inside the handheld and not be blown out again. So, for the most accurate results, use both filter nets combined. The big question now is, how does the Intex vacuum handheld work in practice? Let's check it out right now. We did our first test with the Intex 12 feet easy pool. We gave small amounts of sand into the pool and waited for the sand to sink to the ground. Normally, the sand particles will especially accumulate at the wrinkles on the ground, and yes, that is the case here as well. As you see, there is not a lot to do for the cleaner. We are sure the microfilter will do its job, but will the electric motor generate enough suction? Well, we see the motor is strong enough. The result is absolutely flawless. The ground is very clean and we cannot see any particles left on the ground. Just one move and the sand particles were sucked in. There was no need for a second move above the same area. Nice. We are satisfied for the moment. But what will happen if we make the challenge much more difficult? Will the result be as good if we increase the number of particles drastically? What if there are additionally bigger particles? So, we decided to initiate a second test, and we did it with this rectangular pool. We gave earth and sand into this pool, and quite a lot. In the following scenes, you will see how the handheld does its job. Again, we use the thin attachment. But why? We can reduce the distance between the handheld and the ground if we work without brushes.
Again, the result is nearly perfect. You need to move over an area once, and the job is done. We are very satisfied, as the greater amount of dirt is no problem for the vacuum cleaner. We also like that the filter nets are big enough, so that there is no need to exchange them too often. You can really remove quite a lot of stuff before you must interrupt your work in order to empty the filter nets. Of course, at the end of the test, we had to empty the nets 3 times. But consider the big amount of earth and sand we put into that pool. But let's look at the great attachment. We used it, of course, too. As the brushes cannot be removed, the distance between the vacuum cleaner and the ground is slightly higher. Also, the geometry is different, so the results may vary. Let's watch the performance now. As you can see, the performance does not hold up. Some areas needed to be cleaned twice, and sometimes we had to start even a third turn. On the one hand, this means that this attachment will need more time, and on the other hand, there will be always a given chance that you whirl up small particles every time you use the handheld. Generally, please do not move the vacuum cleaner too fast. In contrast, move it slowly. If you move the handheld too fast, small particles will not get sucked in, but instead they will start float around. So, if you want perfect results, you need to wait until those particles sink again to the ground. The best way for perfect results is to move the handheld slowly. So it is your choice, either you work fastly and the result will be not perfect, or you work slowly and the result will be nearly flawless. For the best results, use the thin attachment and move it slowly. So, finally, the pool is perfectly clean again. We finished the cleaning with the small attachment, as we prefer very accurate cleaning results. We are not happy with the big attachment, as the disadvantages using it are numerous. But, in case of algae, it is good that this attachment is included. The brushes will help quite a lot to remove algae. Let's focus on some other issues. Firstly, as this vacuum cleaner is powered by the internal battery pack, the motor cannot be very strong. Otherwise the battery pack would not last all too long. That is the reason why the greater attachment does not a perfect job. The performance of the motor is not powerful enough. But for the small attachment, the motor is definitely strong enough. The next issue we want to discuss is the LED light. At the back side of the main body, you can charge the battery pack and you see a light. Regrettably, the LED only indicates that the loading is ongoing. It does not indicate how much power there is left or how long the loading is going to take. This is annoying, as you do not know if you have 10%, 40%, or 80% energy left. Watch out, the charging cable is included, but no power supply. At the moment this video is created, you need to use your own USB power supply. In our opinion, this is an imposition. So, if you buy no extra power supply, you must choose if you want to charge your mobile phone or this handheld cleaner. By the way, the battery pack is well sized. We never had issues that the battery went out of energy before we had cleaned our pool completely, even for bigger pools like the Intex 16 feet frame model, which is way bigger than the pools we used for this testings. The battery pack does need some time to become fully charged. Depending on the power supply, we needed 6 to 8 hours. Let's talk about the suction performance and how it compares to the pump-driven Intex 28003 vacuum cleaner. We would compare the performance to the Intex 28637 pump. This pump performs about 750 gallons or nearly 3,000 liters per hour. So this is quite okay. We like the results of the rechargeable handheld cleaner, but you cannot improve the power. For the pump-driven 28003, you can instead use a bigger pump, and the performance increases. If you want to use an attachment with brushes all the time and if you want to have also perfect and very accurate results, you should go for the pump-driven model. But if you like the results you see here in this video, you can go for the rechargeable one. We just want to point out, the performance is what it is. You have to like it or leave it, but you can also watch for the competing Pool Blaster model. But be sure to check out our dual video first. The 𝗦𝗵cie𝗽𝗽𝗶 has advantages and disadvantages and you should carefully check those. Now we want to give an important tip. This is an underwater device. If you use it above water, it will not work at all. Nothing happens, you see? So don't mind if you have no reaction. It is designed to operate underwater and so just use the vacuum cleaner this way. Another important issue, if you remove the handheld in the wrong way, you may lose quite a lot of dirt. And the dirt directly floats in the pool then. As a result, your pool will not be clean after you just have put quite some effort to clean it. Furthermore, you need to wait until the particles all sink down to the ground again. So, we want you to prevent a situation like this. We need to remove the handheld cleaner in the right way. Just watch how we do it. Firstly, look at the angle. We need to turn around the angle, so the front is not at the lower, but at the higher position. Now turn the whole device as you see it here. Switch the power off as late as possible. Now we can remove the handheld. All the water flows outside the main body and not outside the front. The dirt is pulled down and stays where it shall stay. That's how it works. The water in the pool are as clean as possible. Nice? Now look at this part. It was not used before. So what's the purpose of this part? It is an adapter. The standard telescopic pole can reach a maximum of 94 inches or 239 centimeters. If you want to use other telescopic handles that are longer, this adapter will help. Many poles have a little bigger diameter, as the pole that is standardly part of this vacuum set. Watch how we connect this much longer pole. Thanks to the adapter, the connection is possible. Now we are able to use the handheld vacuum cleaner with big pools. It is the time for our conclusion. We like this device very much. It has enough power to achieve really great and accurate results. For us, very accurate cleaning is an important thing, as we want to show you very clean pools. We do not miss more power. If you want the particles on the ground not to get whirled up, you must proceed slowly anyway. So, for us, the limited power is okay. For the thin attachment, we have the finest results, and that's what we want. Nevertheless, if you do not care for the most accurate results, you can think about more powerful handhelds. But be aware that some of them are truly ridiculous concerning the handling. You should necessarily watch tests before you decide for another model. Although we are satisfied with this device, we remind you that it is not perfect. Remember that the power supply is not included and you cannot see how much the battery pack is charged. The most important issue to recommend this vacuum handheld is that it is so easy to operate with. The handling is very good and the setup is very quickly done. For a pump-driven vacuum cleaner, you have to invest a certain amount of effort in setting up and dismantling each time. So you will not likely use the pump-driven cleaner occasionally, but you will likely use this rechargeable one. If there is just a little dirt inside the pool, no problem, because the quick handling does not affect your time too much. In practice, this feature is a big advantage. If you want to purchase this Intex vacuum cleaner, please use the Amazon link below. You can support us and help us, that we produce more videos like this one. There are no costs or disadvantages for you, so we would be happy if you support us.